gentlemen, I'm Aaron Nix. Welcome back to Brit King Pro. And as you may have saw from our last matchup, Nadia Sapphire losing effort against Katie Electra. But Chris Bronson, the heavyweight champion, already in the ring, awaiting his challenger for the championship here this evening. Your main event here at the Walkabout in Cardiff. Made of Stone, Danny Jones, on his way to challenge the Brit King Pro heavyweight champion, Chris Bronson. Chris Bronson, Prince Phoenix, of course, who make up the kingdom, holding all the gold right now here in Brit King Pro. Certainly not currying any favour with its audience. A total lack of respect towards Nadia Sapphire, giving her a real dressing down on the microphone. Chris Bronson essentially saying to Nadia Sapphire, what the hell have you done lately? Yeah, understandably. Chris Bronson, the stallion, hiding behind Prince Phoenix, as he has done so often in his title reign. By the way, the stallion doesn't need to do that at all. Oh boy, Prince Phoenix has just been scared off by Danny Jones, and Prince Phoenix is running for the rafters. He don't want none of this absolute Welsh Leviathan. Understandably so, running away from Danny Jones, and it looks like Chris Bronson's going to have it all to do. It's over to Giovanni Giorgio, ladies and gentlemen, for your official announcements here for your main event.
Cardiff, it is now time for your main event! Your featured contest tonight is a singles match scheduled for one fall. And it is for the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, the challenger from right here in Cardiff, weighing in at 240 pounds, made of stone, Danny Jones! And his opponent fighting out of the red corner from Bristol, England, weighing in at 232 pounds. He is the reigning, defending British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Stallion, Chris Bronson!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, momentarily, the stallion Chris Bronson in the pink trunks and pink knee pads will be defending the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship against Made of Stone, Danny Jones. You certainly don't want to run into him in a dark alley. Look at the size of Danny Jones, and that's what it's all about right there. Referee Drew Robinson in charge of this championship matchup. This match is scheduled for one fall and will be contested for Chris Bronson's British Heavyweight Championship, the Brit King Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. And the stallion, the leader of the kingdom, has certainly made his mark here in Brit King Pro in no short order, flanked of course by the junior heavyweight champion Prince Phoenix, and Chris Bronson immediately heading to the outside, looking to, oh come on, a lack of respect as always. Would you expect anything less from the kingdom? A real bad attitude is always going to befall Brit King Pro when the kingdom is in the house. The reign of terror has been absolutely unstoppable from Chris Bronson and Prince Phoenix. The kingdom, they run this house, at least in their estimation, and Danny Jones could go a long way to rectifying that situation if he can capture that. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. The British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion Chris Bronson defending against Danny Jones, Colin Albert type, and Jones using that size advantage back. By the way, Chris Bronson is a huge man. He's called the Stallion for a reason. Danny Jones absolutely towers over him. The size of this man. Of course, Danny Jones, a product of the world-class wrestling scene here in Wales, and no better place to show it off in the capital city of Wales itself, Cardiff. The walkabout is jam-packed. The anticipation has been rife for this championship matchup. Chris Bronson versus Danny Jones. Once again, collar and elbow tie-up. Both of these behemoths locking up in the middle of the ring. And Danny Jones backed up into the corner. And now Bronson swinging for the fences. Recognises the threat that Danny Jones applies. Now trying to intimidate our head official, Drew Robinson. No respect. Standing room only here in Cardiff as Chris Bronson looks to wear down the sizable threat of Danny Jones. Danny Jones, of course, making a stunning appearance for Major League Wrestling earlier on this year. But this is a very different proposition to anything you might see on American TV, ladies and gentlemen. Danny Jones currently being grounded by the stallion Chris Bronson. This crowd, of course, understandably so, back in their hometown hero. Danny Jones has had a real Welsh flavour on the card tonight. Danny Jones just runs through Chris Bronson like it wasn't even there with that shoulder tail. Look at that leapfrog, beautiful athleticism, but he walks right into the Mack truck of Wales that is Danny Jones. Truly made of stone he is. Irish whip reversal, and Jones explodes out in the corner with another shoulder tackle. And Chris Bronson is heading for high ground, asking for a timeout. Referee Drew Robinson trying to keep this match honest, this championship matchup, and of course referee's discretion, I guess, in terms of how far he's willing to let these two competitors go in the search to be known as the British King of Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, as Danny Jones with one chop gets Chris Bronson to take a seat. Another knife-edge chop, and Chris Bronson out there in the audience, very dangerous position to be in, and Danny Jones looking to wear out Chris Bronson. He's just about had enough of the Kingdom's nonsense, and he's looking to beat the honesty back into the stallion. And Danny Jones, what a specimen in his own right, and arguably you could say that these two men, there are none better in the game of professional wrestling right now. And it looks like Danny Jones is going to have a little toast to Cardiff, Wales, and frankly showing a lack of respect as he just spits that pint of beer into the face of Chris Bronson. And the chants of Wales echo around the walkabout here at Cardiff. Danny Jones clearly the favourite here against Chris Bronson, who's looking to strike with everything that's worth, and now hammering down knife-edge chops of his own. And Chris Bronson is certainly not going to take things lightly when it comes to Danny Jones. And whether you like the stallion or you don't, there's a lot of people who don't, he certainly is deserving of being known as one of the best in the world. And now getting a drink for himself, just alleviating the punch. Oh my God! Well, Chris Bronson just had the beer chopped right out of his system, courtesy of Danny Jones. Chris Bronson, a little worse for wear at ringside here. Danny Jones sending the stallion back into the ring, and Chris Bronson looks to be out on his feet already. Danny Jones, he's not playing around here. Beautiful back elbow crashing in to the sternum of Chris Bronson. Gone as a 2 count for referee Drew Robinson. The British King of Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship is on the line. This is for all the marbles. This is to be known as the best in the game. And oh my God, a back body drop. And Chris Bronson was in the rafters. And yeah, I understand why you'd want to escape after that. Good God almighty, Chris Bronson could have got a job working for the lighting rig guys with that kind of height. That's outrageous. Bronson about 8 or 9 feet in the air. Astonishing power and elevation. Now Danny Jones offering up Bronson to our young audience here. Not sure how much damage that's going to do, but Danny Jones is certainly having a lot of fun. And now Jones looking to tee off on Chris Bronson here. Knife edge chop right across the chest. Well, I was going to say poor on Chris Bronson, but let's be honest, it's nothing more than he deserves. His attitude, the way the Kingdom has run roughshod over this roster, the way that they have behaved in recent months here at Brit King Pro, getting every bit he deserves from made of stone Danny Jones. Danny Jones pointing out to our young fans here, I've got this one covered, don't you worry. I know even the patrons of Wales want a slice of Chris Bronson. One of the most unlikable men in all of Wales right now, and certainly against Cardiff's own Danny Jones, who is just teeing off against Chris Bronson. Another knife-edge chop from Danny Jones to Chris Bronson. And every single person here in Wales is rabid and is behind the man made of stone, wanting to see Chris Bronson get his comeuppance to finally be dethroned as the heavyweight champion. And Bronson once again escaping out the back door. Doesn't want none of Danny Jones. You can see he's a lot worse for wear. I don't think Chris Bronson is used to being bodied around, being manhandled like he is right now by Danny Jones, who follows him to the outside. I think Chris Bronson may have sucked in Danny Jones, and this street fight-like main event continues. Referee Drew Robinson desperately pleading with his men to get back in the ring, but offering quite a bit of leeway, as is likely in a championship matchup. Nobody wants to see a count-out in a championship matchup of this magnitude, as Chris Bronson sends Danny Jones' face right off the bench. And Bronson jaw-jacking with our audience here. Certainly doesn't like anybody from Wales, much less the fans in Cardiff, Wales. And careful now, keep your hands off of our head official, Drew Robinson. Chris Bronson threatening to spot Drew, and Drew Robinson rightfully saying, "You better not put your hands on me, I'm the head official." And Drew Robinson doesn't appreciate the behaviour of Chris Bronson. Bronson now looking to tee off, misses a knife-edge shot and gets an overhand for his troubles. And Danny Jones, this is a mammoth of a man. You're going to have to do really well to bring down a giant quite like Danny Jones. And despite his size and power, he's one of the most technically efficient professional wrestlers you've ever seen. And there's nothing technical about that. He's just slapping the breasts off of Chris Bronson. That's what he's doing. Oh, he's extremely impressive pectorals, getting a real tattooing at the hands of the man made of stone. And now finally this match finds itself back in the ring. Irish whip into the ropes, clothesline into the ropes, and Danny Jones not allowing Chris Bronson to build up ahead of steam, cuts him off with a pass. Very smart, and Danny Jones recognises that Bronson is a dangerous athlete. Puts the brakes on though, flapjack right across the ropes, and now Bronson with a head of steam just crashes into Danny Jones with that clothesline. And now raining down blows is the current reigning and defending heavyweight champion of Brick King Pro. Chris Bronson seems to have found another gear, and I think he's just about had enough of Danny Jones as he kicks him in the shoulder, and now just stomping a mud hole in him and looking to choke out the life of Danny Jones in the corner. Referee Drew Robinson admonishing Chris Bronson once again. And once again, Chris Robinson doesn't seem to care. As the leader of the kingdom, he thinks he's bulletproof, he thinks he's untouchable, he thinks he could do whatever he pleases. Lovely step suplex applied by the Stallion. Pinning combination, 2 count only. Danny Jones continues to fight in this championship main event. Now an arm bar breaker applied by Chris Bronson. That is going to do untold damage to the shoulder. You could have hyperextended the shoulder of Danny Jones. And quite rightfully so, Danny Jones in a hell of a lot of pain as that 235-pound specimen that is the Stallion is looking to wear down Danny Jones and just cranking at the neck. Danny Jones may be made of stone, but right now he's on borrowed time as far as Chris Bronson is concerned, but he's still biting from underneath. There's still a lot of spice being offered up. Irish whip reversal by Bronson. Oh my God! Standing drop kick with aplomb from Chris Bronson. 2 count only, and talk about high caliber athleticism. Chris Bronson caught Danny Jones flush with a beautiful standing drop kick. There has never been anything in doubt when it comes to the abilities, the athleticism, the quality of Chris Bronson. Unfortunately, it's the mentality and attitude of the man that has always been in question ever since the kingdom was formed. And himself and Prince Phoenix, well, prize of same old English, always cheating, directed at Chris Bronson from our Welsh audience here, and understandably so, very well behind Danny Jones. But like I said, Chris Bronson and Prince Phoenix, the kingdom has run roughshod over British Kingdom Pro Wrestling, and they have absolutely no intention of slowing down. You might notice, by the way, that Prince Phoenix, if you're just joining us, is not actually at ringside. He ran out of the building before the match started by Danny Jones, and obviously huge size disparity. As good a junior heavyweight as Prince Phoenix is, I don't think he wants to get into a fight with someone the likes of Danny Jones. The absolute size of this man, but this is testament to how good Chris Bronson is. That he's able to fell a giant like this. He's able to get so much control. We saw a similar kind of size disparity earlier on tonight between Mulligan and Charlie Sterling, but there is a level to this game, and this is why Chris Bronson, whether you like it or not, is the heavyweight champion. But he's going to need a lot of strength if he's going to Irish whip Danny Jones out of the corner. Jones putting the brakes on, and a straight right hand to the chin. Irish whip into the corner, and Danny Jones explodes with a clothesline and a back elbow out of the corner. And now a scoop slam applied to the Stallion by the man made of stone. Danny Jones favouring that lower back, understandably so, has taken quite a beating here in the main event here in the walkabout in Cardiff, but he's looking to build momentum. Big old clothesline in a corner, Irish whip, and another one to the other corner from pillar to post, off the rope, short arm clothesline, and an elbow drop applied by Danny Jones. Is that going to be enough to be crowned champion? No, it's not. Chris Bronson kicks out. This main event for the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship continues under the guise of head official Drew Robinson. Danny Jones is building momentum, but can he do what many people are desperate to see him do, and that is knock off the Kingdom's Chris Bronson, your heavyweight champion, whether you like it or lump it. And I'm going to tell you what, that would go a long way to slowing down the momentum, to dismantling the momentum of them. A roll through and a 2 count only. Dismantling that momentum of the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling's most vaunted faction, a rising knee lift, and now a pop of the hips and a gorgeous explosion out of the corner with that stunning suplex from Danny Jones, and Chris Bronson just able to get his shoulder off the canvas. It's fight or flight time for the Stallion, looking desperately to retain his championship against what many people might argue is the most devastating contender he has had to fight yet. Well, this is awesome. Rings out from here in Cardiff, and understandably so, because this truly is an awesome matchup between two of the best. Danny Jones and Chris Bronson putting on an instant classic here for the heavyweight championship. Back body drop by Chris Bronson. Great power, popping the hips, able to take Danny Jones off his feet, who gets the elbow up, walks right into it, and a beautiful power slam from Chris Bronson, who now is going to ascend to the second rope. There's no messing around here, no posturing. Chris Bronson recognises he's got a moment, and a stunning elbow drop. Savage-like mentality from Stallion, and he gets a 2 count for his troubles, but no more. And I think Chris Bronson thought that was good enough. He's arguing with Drew Robinson, but Drew Robinson was in a perfect position. It most definitely was a 2 count. It was close, but it was definitely 2. This championship matchup continues. Unfavourable chance crying out towards Chris Bronson, who's looking to finish this affair. And now a Snapdragon suplex applied by Danny Jones. And oh my God, a knee lift that would send Satan himself right back to the gates of hell. And a pending combination. And somehow Chris Bronson, whether you like the man or not, and a lot of people don't, he's able to kick out. And my God almighty, all of that frame of Danny Jones, all of that weight and power went straight through the knees into the chin of Chris Bronson. That would have literally knocked out most entities, but somehow Chris Bronson is able to survive. And now Danny Jones, I think, is looking to finish matters here with his power. Come on. But he's looking for a power driver. Bronson inadvertently kicked Drew Robinson, but there was nothing inadvertent about that low blow, a DDT. Bronson, that cheating son of a gun, has taken a shortcut like no other and has felled the Welsh giant with a punch right between the plums. And now Chris Bronson, what the hell is he doing now? Oh yeah, Bronson, unsurprisingly, looking for his ever-beloved heavyweight gold. That vaunted, that infamous British Heavyweight Championship. This crowd desperately trying to wheel Danny Jones back into the fight, but right now Chris Bronson looks to be taking aim with the strap. He's looking to take that championship and smack it right off the dome of Danny Jones. And with referee Drew Robinson incapacitated after that inadvertent kick, he's going to do just that, but Danny Jones escapes. Kick to the midsection. Look out. Pile driver in the middle of the ring. Oh my God, he's out cold. Oh my God, we've got a new champion. Come on, that's free. But Drew Robinson is out cold. Danny Jones should rightfully be your new champion, but Danny Jones screaming, and oh, look out, here's our second official. Ash Cox has made his way to the ringside. Pinning competition. Oh, come on, Prince Phoenix. You son of a... Prince Phoenix dragging our second official out of the ring. And Danny Jones, I think, has recognised he's just about had enough. And Danny Jones is going to whip 7 bales out of Prince Phoenix. Has got him up on his shoulder. Oh, Phoenix escapes, and Danny Jones gets sent crashing into the ring post. And the numbers game, as always, for the Kingdom, paying dividends. Yeah, real proud of yourselves. Referee Drew Robinson is out cold in the middle of the ring after being kicked in the face. Ash Cox got drilled into the floor by Prince Phoenix. That means the Kingdom can do whatever they please with absolutely no eyeballs from officials on what they're doing. Now, Prince Phoenix and Chris Bronson directing traffic. Yeah, Prince Phoenix, that slimy junior heavyweight champion, is going to drag Danny Jones to his feet so that Chris Bronson can collide the championship belt with the skull of Danny Jones. Chris Bronson is going to take aim, and he's going to reclaim what he belongs. Wait a minute, Nadia Sapphire is out here looking to help Danny Jones, and rightfully so. Cardiff's own, the Welsh stick together. No, wait a minute, you get your hands over the People's Princess. Chris Bronson, Nadia Sapphire came out here to help Danny Jones, who's able to escape Prince Phoenix's wrath. I don't think Chris Bronson is aware of it, and Nadia Sapphire being saved by Danny Jones, and thank God for that. And Danny Jones, Nadia Sapphire was about to suffer something truly horrible, and oh my God, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? A low blow from Nadia Sapphire. Danny Jones was trying to help Nadia Sapphire. Nadia just punched Danny Jones right in the plums. A low blow. Come on. Chris Bronson with the championship gold across the face. What the hell have we just seen here in Cardiff? And now Bronson with the Stallion's finish. It's going to apply the exclamation point. Come on, not like this. Drew Robinson has counted 3. Chris Bronson has stolen one. I am stunned, ladies and gentlemen. You see the smile on Nadia Sapphire's face, and Prince Phoenix, oh, come on. Nadia Sapphire obviously listened very closely to what Chris Bronson had said earlier on tonight, and has decided that her career is better suited alongside the Kingdom. And just when you thought the Kingdom couldn't have enough of an advantage, they now seem to have acquired the services of Cardiff's own, the People's Princess. And Nadia Sapphire has turned her back on her friends and family here in her own home city to align herself with Prince Phoenix and Chris Bronson. And thanks to that fact, ladies and gentlemen, Danny Jones has been robbed, I tell you, of the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. And that means Chris Bronson survives once again. Chris Bronson knows he got out of dodge here tonight. And frankly, it's a garbage situation, yeah. The insurance policy that is Rising Heat. Chris Bronson making it very clear the Kingdom runs this joint, and dare I say, I don't want to make assumptions, but it certainly looks like Nadia Sapphire may very well have joined the ranks of the Kingdom, and that's a damn shame here in Cardiff tonight. And the landscape of British Kingdom Pro Wrestling seems to have changed once again, and in many people's estimations, no doubt for the worse. Nadia Sapphire aligning herself with the junior heavyweight champion and the heavyweight champion of Brick King Pro, Prince Phoenix, Chris Bronson, Nadia Sapphire. A terrifying combination for anyone looking to do things the right way here at Brick King Pro. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Eric. Thank you for joining us at Brick King Pro Wrestling live from Cardiff. We will catch you very soon.